The following program is sponsored by Tropical Acres Steakhouse.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
Hey, good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. It is a home show today because we are celebrating Rosh Hashanah, the holiday, and we are all deeply observant. No, we're not, but we just happen to have a break in the schedule. We'll be on the road again the rest of the week, but we've got Jeff Defo and Mike Lubie Lubitz in their respective homesteads. I hope everybody is enjoying the holiday and had a good first night meal. Defo, how are you today?
I couldn't be better. Just got back from a walk of life, feeling great. I was with my man Happy Hour Jim. We're discussing where we're going for a little Rosh Hashanah happy hour. A couple of places came to mind. He was at Billy Jack's Shack last night for dinner, believe it or not. And I have to say, Mike Mayo, I beg to differ with you on this one, but I made myself one of those pre-made burgers from Publix last night in the frying pan. And I've had a zillion great burgers in my lifetime. This came out as good as anything I've ever eaten in my life.
Now, is it mixed in with anything? Or
Nope, just straight up.
Straight up beef.
Decent quality of beef. It was somewhat on sale, which is good because otherwise it would have been about $20. But no, I mean, you're paying like $3 for the burger. A couple of slices of boar's head cheese on top, grilled up some onions and pickles and ketchup, and I was in heaven. No bread, but I'm sitting.
Are you one of those guys that uses a lettuce bun? You know, like instead
No.
of bread,
I mean, but I don't mind that. The lettuce wrap thing. What was a big thing at like P.F. Chang's? Where else is it popular? The lettuce wrap.
It became a thing during the whole keto diet.
You were not a fan of that? I thought it was pretty good. I didn't mind.
Just have a little bread. Come on, live a little bit. It's 5786. Time is running out on all of us. But
how many years back does this thing go, this Jewish holiday?
5786. That's when the Lord and God created everything, the heavens and the universe. Only 5,786 years ago. This is what some people believe.
Let me ask you a Jewish dietary question. Now, big debate over this. The whole thing about not eating pork. And I was being questioned about this, and my interpretation was that there was some kind of plague or whatever that was impacting pork, and so a law was sort of written into the religious scriptures there that you shouldn't eat it to keep people from eating it. Isn't that the thing, or is there really like something?
No, the origins were back in the day, and I believe it was in the book of Deuteronomy.
What? You're quoting Deuteronomy?
Yeah, it might have been Leviticus.
Why didn't you give the UN speech today?
You could do that. All right. But it was written in the early Old Testament scriptures that you shall not eat pork or any animal that defecates into itself or roots around in its own shit, basically, its own defecation. And pigs are one of those things because I think it was a health concern. It might have been rooted in the fact that that
was the thing, that like they didn't know how to tell people to stop eating it, so they made it a religious law.
So hence, not only pork, but things like shellfish, where their digestive tract goes into themselves, like lobster and clams and other crustaceans. But again, I think with the modern era where we have more sanitary conditions and things that are, steps that are taken to prevent foodborne illness. I think not only is it safe.
Like the Second Amendment and the NCAA amateurism rules, where they were written at the time where it was a whole different world, and it's not applicable anymore. Would you say that's a fair statement?
What it sort of feels like.
I would say it's a fair statement. So, but I wanted to get into two things. First of all, one place that you won't be going to for your happy hour tonight, and one place that I will miss because of its outstanding pork products, particularly its honey glazed spare ribs. I mourn the loss today of Christine Lee's.
You had heard about this before, though. You had a heads up on it.
People had floated it out there.
What's that?
People had floated it out there for the last week or so. You just wanted to make sure you got confirmation.
People? No, it wasn't
You
written
mentioned this
anywhere.
like a week ago.
You heard
Yeah,
this
I
last week?
heard a tip, but it wasn't on any media or
No,
social media.
I heard people. Someone said last week. Someone was like,
Mike
"Well,
mentioned this
Christine
on a show.
It was me on Friday, but I did not go with it on the air because it was from somebody connected to the restaurant that said, if you want your ribs, last licks, get them before Sunday
Ah.
because that's going to be the last day of service. Now, being a good old school newspaper man, I didn't just go with the tip, even though it sounded credible, even though the source I considered decent. I went right to the main source, which is Mary Lee, second generation operator of Christine Lee's restaurant, which has been in business in South Florida for 55 years.
Wow.
And I went right after the show on Friday. She was in the restaurant, and I asked her point blank. I said,
Did
"Are
you
you?"
order first, or did you ask her the question?
No, I didn't order anything, and
Nothing?
that's the problem. I guess I was already full, and
At
we
least
had.
some cashew chicken, something.
I should have gotten one last rack of ribs because they
Ribs,
had
yeah.
the best spare ribs in town in South Florida in Broward. Now that distinction
In
goes to our
terms of
friend
spare ribs or
Wow.
Chinese spare ribs?
Chinese spare ribs. I'm
Okay.
talking about the honey
Chinese-
glazed
honey
Chinese spare
glazed.
ribs. Christine Lee's for decades, the best in South Florida. And now that distinction goes to our friend Alex at Juan's, which was a number 2. But basically, I asked her point blank. I said, I heard something that you're closing after this weekend. And she goes, no, she denied it flatly.
Ah, right.
And basically said things have been tough. It's been an extraordinarily tough summer. Things weren't helped because they got dinged by the health department last month and they had to close for a night. They cleaned up what was wrong. But of course, Jeff Weinzier came in with his little camera.
Weinzier's been on a sick roll lately. I mean, I sort of was half tuned in, and I was listening to this dirty dining he was doing. My God, he nailed like 100 restaurants. This guy.
Well, I
What's
think that the health inspectors are getting a little bit. I don't know if
he,
it's
he had like a rat, like he was going to a Panther game.
I think again, the state health department, the state sends out health inspectors, and Weinzier follows up after they get shut down. Now, there have been, in my estimation, a lot more shutdowns for a lot more piddly offenses. It's like some of these referees throwing some of these flags on these offensive linemen moving 1 yard off the line of scrimmage on a passing play. But I
Did you
think
lose bet on the Ravens last night?
no, I
You
actually
were all in on the Ravens.
I had a good week in my picks. I
All
went 12-4. But the bottom line is, I don't know if the state gets fine money or these inspectors are trying to justify their own existence because otherwise they're going to get dooged out of existence even at the state level. So I think they're being a little bit more stringent in terms of shutdowns and writing places up. I heard from another restaurateur who I know that he was able to talk his way out because his refrigeration was 3 degrees over the standard and he had just gotten a full shipment. So all these boxes that had just came in from a truck at room temperature basically raised the temperature a couple degrees. And the woman ended up coming back 4 hours later and it was still off by a degree, but he managed to talk her into coming back this week. So, but again, these health inspections, they really can do damage to a restaurant's business and bottom line. And of course,
question for you: what happened to Esposito's? Are they still going, or
Yeah,
they were? You
still-
had some issues with that guy.
he's still open. No, it
okay.
happened again, even
Oh,
after
yeah.
he assured it wouldn't happen again, but he's still open. And
That was a
in
classic clash with Weinstein.
But getting back to Christine Lee's, look, they had some live roaches, they had some other issues, but they cleaned it up. And look, I've had live roaches, I've had dead rats in my kitchen, and I still cooked there. Last night, we had a great holiday meal. But
well, you
again,
should be open as a restaurant, Mike.
no, but when it comes to, obviously the health and safety of diners is paramount, and no good restaurateur wants to make their guests ill. So the bottom line was that was kind of maybe the final nail, and it drove business down even further. But it had been a real struggle for Mary. And look, let me
That's
eulogize.
surprising, though. I mean, they're extremely popular and acknowledged by many. It wasn't as pricey as Rainbow Palace, but right up there supposedly.
No, their prices were up there, particularly for some.
It wasn't cheap. I mean, but
No.
they were also at a racetrack location.
Yeah. And it was
They were at a primary, casino racetrack location.
Oh, nice.
Let me give a quick obit. Okay, so Christine Lee was named for the original founder, which was Mary's mom. She opened the restaurant, a family-run place in actually Elizabeth, New Jersey,
Like from
right?
Paramus or something like
No,
some
Elizabeth, New
yeah,
Jersey, right there at the entrance to the Goethals Bridge, which goes into Staten Island. And the family operated that restaurant in the 50s, and actually also in the 60s, I believe. And at the end of the 60s, in 1970, Christine Lee was the victim of a brutal parking lot robbery, mugging, assault with the Knights Register. And after that point, she's decided it was no longer safe to operate in New Jersey. She scattered out locations and she went down to Sunny Isles Beach, and the first location in 1970. So this is 55 years that Christine Lee's has been in business in South Florida, and they started at a place called it wasn't in the Thunderbird, that was stop number 2, but the Golden Strand Hotel, 1970 to 1974. And then they went to the Thunderbird, and that was a great run for 2 decades, 74 to 95. And that was my first experience with them because I had cousins that loved the joint and were regulars and would always get a good table at prime time. So even at the Thunderbird was my first experience when I moved down here in 1989 and 90. And then after that, they moved to another location in Sunny Isles in a strip mall on Collins Avenue after the Thunderbird was torn down and vacated. And then they had an opportunity to come to Gulfstream, the rebuilt, newly configured Gulfstream Park after the advent of the slot machines. That new location was on the 3rd floor overlooking the track. It was a gorgeous location. And on race days, they'd be packed. And like you said, it was very popular. And this was from 2007, but then they were forced out of the 3rd floor and had to move down to the ground level walking ring area. That was in 2018, and COVID really hit hard. And after COVID, they were trying to hold on, and Gulfstream shrank its race calendar so that this time of year, when it's only 3 days a week, and I went, on a Friday, and yeah, it was popular in people's memories, a lot of family memories, including my own. But when I went on a Friday afternoon to ask Mary about what was going on, and this is the middle of a live racing day, there were 4 people in the entire joint, 2 at a dining room table, one lonely old guy with a racing form on the outside table overlooking the paddock, and one guy at the bar. So when you have 4 people on a live racing day on a Friday, I guess the writing was on the wall, and it's just sad that it was kind of such a hasty demise. Because I think if she would have told people, "Hey, I'm going to be retiring at the end of the year, last date of service, December 31st," and then people would have flocked in there in the last couple of months to say goodbyes, to kind of have that nostalgia tour. But I don't know all the whys. But she decided it was just time to retire. And I wish Mary well and a happy retirement. Her kids were telling her that's the other thing. When I talked to her on Friday, she said, "I'm going to keep going, but my kids keep telling me, just retire already, Mom. It's enough. Enough is enough."
So the kids
So
are
I guess, those voices were in her ear, and the revenue just wasn't enough to keep going even for a few more months. So I don't know about you, Defo, but I am very saddened today.
I mean, I wasn't a huge Christine Lee's guy. I liked it when I went there. Mike Nyman, my good friend, who I attended he was gracious enough to let us share his parking pass for the Gator Canes game on Saturday night, which was kind of an interesting culinary experience also. But he was a big fan of the place. I always loved it. Most of the racetrack people really like going there. As I said, you missed out, and you eventually came around to my point of view, which was that the chicken wings should not be slept on.
Chicken wings with the oyster
You
sauce.
mentioned the Thunderbird. Do you know that that's the answer to a great trivia question in sports?
Tell me what is the question?
The question would be on the robe that Sonny Liston was wearing when he fought then Cassius Clay soon, like the next day, to be Muhammad Ali, 1964, Miami Beach Convention Center. What was the name of the hotel that was written on the back of his robe?
I'm going to say Thunderbird.
Thunderbird was, and I never knew what it was. I was like, "What is the Thunderbird?" I thought it was like some cheesy motel that gave him like $50 to wear the robe, And it might have been. I don't know. Was it
No, it was no, it was considered okay. So it had a reputation back in the day of being, let's say, one of those connected places, and I'm seeing on the chat line
Well,
now.
not surprising. And it
Meyer Lansky, I guess,
there you
had
go.
a piece of it, and a lot of his, let's say, working women would be roaming free. And I heard that, but back in the day when Christine Lees was there in the 70s and 80s through 95, it wasn't just some of, let's say, family members who liked dining there, but also a lot of celebrities. I remember seeing all these pictures
They
on the
didn't do
wall.
any regular business. I mean, unrelated to the track. I mean, would people not from the Aventura area
Yeah,
have
yeah, no,
to go there?
people would go there at night after the races,
But
and
it's a
even
very well-populated area for Chinese food fans.
yeah, let me get but back in the day in the 70s in the Thunderbird, people like Lucille Ball, Jackie Gleason, Don Rickles, and Mary had all these pictures lining the walls in the back part of the new restaurant at Gulfstream. But it was a real celebrity magnet back in the day. Now, when they moved to Gulfstream, when it was first up on the third floor, big race days they do well. And yes, people from the surrounding area in Aventura would come up there at 7, 8 at night to have dinner even after the races. And this is where some of my memories come in, and kind of hits me hard, and especially this time of year when it's the Jewish holidays, and I'm missing my parents who are both gone, and some of my great cousins who are prolific gamblers and poker players. My cousins Evie and Danny Miller, they were regulars there. We would
They
have
probably have a game tonight. Oh no, they're gone.
they're gone. They
Oh,
both
okay.
contracted COVID and then had to move up to New
Both.
York, and yeah, it's not good. But and also my cousin Marcy, she we would all gather there when my parents were in town. We actually had my daughter's one of her early birthday, like fifth or sixth birthday dinners at Christine Lee's when it was still up on the third floor. And I have very, very good, fond memories of the place. And back then, not only did they have the great Chinese American food like the ribs and the wings and the bird's nest seafood, like the fried noodles and the seafood tower that they would come out, but they also had excellent steaks, and they were known for their filet mignon and their lamb chops. They had some of the best double cut lamb chops in town, which you could
Place
get with
place was rocking back in the day. There's no
yeah.
doubt about it.
But
When I was on the third floor there at Gulfstream, when they reconfigured the place, that's when I spent a few times there with Mike Nyman. He was a huge fan, and naturally he was working there also. But I remember the steak was a big consideration. I
oh, it
mean,
was huge.
it was right up there with any steakhouse. And I want to say, did they also serve lobsters there? I mean,
Oh
lobster.
yeah, big Cantonese
Yeah.
lobsters, all kinds of lobster and shrimp dishes. It was just a high quality upscale establishment. When they moved to the first floor, it was the end of 2018, and they did okay the first year, and it was COVID that really did a number on them. Although they had that outdoor area, and I would go from time to time before the advent of the vaccines, and I was still going to eat outside, and I would meet again my cousins and people visiting. We would go and sit outside at Christine Lee's all through 2020. And then there was a couple of times, during the summer in Saratoga, I would just like to go sit at the bar and have some of those ribs and some of those wings and some of
Oh,
that
you
special.
were a huge fan of the ribs.
You love Christine Lee.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and this,
no.
this was when you had like another 40 pounds on you, and
Oh,
you,
yeah.
you would shovel like a whole rack.
And my mom, rest in peace.
And they had the best Chinese mustard in any Chinese restaurant, maybe with the exception of Juan's, which
Yeah,
I'm now a huge fan of when they have that thing in the syrup jar.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's the way to do Chinese.
At Christine Lee's, they had the very thin, crunchy noodles, not the wide.
It was a nice presentation.
But they would put the little mustard and duck sauce in little side dishes, and you could
and
dunk your
good
noodles.
sauces. Yeah,
Good sauces.
it was
But
pricey, but I mean, it was sort
no,
of.
and I thought it was quality, and I didn't mind going in there, and I'd have a couple of drinks. Got friendly with some of the bartenders, particularly like those summertime of 22 and 23, and I would meet my poker buddies, and one of them, Willie, congrats to him. He finished third in the tournament over the weekend at Hard Rock. He turned $200 into 13 dimes, 200 to
When are you going to win
13,000.
one of these, Mayo?
I've not been playing that much, and that's the problem. Tomorrow I got another home game. I've been taking a beating in the last three. I'm on a 3-game
I
losing
remember when
streak.
you were bragging that you were taking these clowns down for a couple of dimes.
Yeah, I think they were setting me up. It
You
feels
haven't
like a hustler.
mentioned anything recently, Mr. Matt.
No, it's been a tough
check,
slog.
check
My
all night long. You know,
my-
I could watch that Malkovich scene in Rounders over and over a million. My son and I send that back and forth via text every now and then, and he is doing Malkovich's taxes again this year. So,
And I told you that was one of my college classmates, and I was in the creative writing class. Who
that
wrote
is a brilliant movie, and it is
who
a
wrote that
very
movie?
good
Brian Koppelman, who went on to become a major producer, and he's the showrunner for the show Billions, which was on Showtime for a while with Paul Giamatti.
well-written movie. I mean, scripturally, is that right?
No, very,
From a
very.
script standpoint, it was as well-written a movie as I've seen.
And it was accurate because him and his writing partner
Right on the money.
played a lot of poker in underground clubs in New York at the time. It was before poker had a boom.
And people weren't aware of how brilliant it was. So I don't think it did great at the box office, but as gambling movies go, right up there with James Caan and the Gambler.
And what's one of the great lines in it? One of the great, well-written lines is, "In the game of life, women are the rake."
But also, what happened to you? You look like Dwayne Bobbitt. That's my other line. That was from Turturro, who was playing the role of Kanish.
Brian Koppelman, who was the co-writer of it, he's now featured as an actor in the series The Bear. Do you know which character he plays?
I haven't seen The Bear. Louie might know.
So there is a character on The Bear named Computer, who is kind of the accounting numbers guy.
Computer?
Yeah, Brian Koppelman plays the role of Computer, which is kind of Oliver Platt's the uncle that's funding the whole venture's sidekick.
This cat is brilliant, so it brings up the magic question. When's the next reunion with you guys from Tufts or wherever?
I keep skipping them, but I was waiting to lose the weight.
The question will be, like, what happened to you?
Well, in 1980,
this guy, I mean, literally, and look, I went to school with Costas, so it's not like I became in the same category of sportscaster by any stretch of the imagination. The guy's brilliant, but I mean, that guy really was way out there in terms of creativity and really being able to depict what life was all about, which is what art's all about too.
Yeah, for him, it helped that his father was one of the founding founders of I think, or connected with A&M Records, and was a big-time Hollywood
was a big
music producer.
Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass.
Yeah, well, it was Albert, and I forget what the M is. There was Albert and something else. The guy who had a bunch of horses, Jerry Moss. But,
Jerry Moss. Oh no, he seems like a great guy.
But Charlie Koppelman, who was Brian's dad, was one of the major executives there, and I think he was in charge of like what they call AOR, finding.
Should have hung out more with him, man. What the hell happened to you?
I should have hung out with him more, and I didn't. But Brian was the one, and who through his dad told about there was a young folk singer on the Tufts campus that would go down to Harvard Square and busk with her guitar by the name of Tracy Chapman.
Oh, wow.
And so Brian Koppelman kind of discovered Tracy Chapman and produced her breakthrough first album, the one with Fast Cars. Yeah. So, and
what was she on the Grammys when she did she do a duet with like?
Well, she did a duet with a country star who
brought her on. That was great.
Fast Car.
That is one of the great renditions of that song.
The country star whose name Luke Combs, is that it?
Might have been, yeah.
He reprised that song. It was a very good cover version of Fast Cars. And Tracy Chapman, who's kind of become a recluse and hasn't really put out any new music, and I think she was from the Cleveland area and has just went back to a kind of low-key life, but she resurfaced when that song became a hit again, and she joined Luke Combs for a duet
that
at
was
the Grammys.
One of the brilliant moments in award show history.
It was really good. How we got to hear from Christine Lee's.
You know what's good though, Mayo? You're drifting along. You're starting to understand stream of consciousness a little.
Kind of like our president at the that
was.
I didn't even watch. Here's the thing: I can't even watch anymore.
No, I watched it. It was one of the bigger embarrassments in American history.
Well, which is the bigger embarrassment? This morning.
Here's the thing: I believe this though. I mean, with this Tylenol thing from yesterday, which
that's what I was going to hit. I did see that clip.
Is there something in orange makeup that impacts your brain? Because the guy's got this stuff caked on like he had just like taken a bag, one of those reversible bags of dog crap, caked over his face, and he's talking to the United Nations and telling all of these. The smattering of mild applause after he was done when he went like 4 times over the time allotment. What was I told you all you needed to know about that?
Every time I hear him, I'm now
this
avoiding.
This was a big embarrassment.
I'm trying to avoid, any watching these speeches.
You need to get involved. You need to stay involved.
I vote in every election, but here's what I know. and the times that I do hear
Mayo,
clips
you're a
of it,
political voice that people respect from your editorial days with the Sun Sentinel.
the times I do
Can't stop.
hear snippets, all I think of, Defo, and you know this, is the dictator scene in Woody Allen's
Oh yeah,
Bananas.
well, I brought that up to Lubie when he first was running for election, and Lubie looked at me like I was crazy. He was like, "Well, what are you talking about, Defo?
Pretty
This
soon,
movie's from the 1970s."
pretty soon, underwear will be worn on the outside so that they can
And
check.
all those who are not 16 are
Now 16. And now we know why he wants
that's in the Epstein files. I'm
Well,
sure.
Woody Allen saying that too is a little bit iffy. But,
Woody was a strange cat, but you have to admit. I mean, look, a lot of weirdos have been brilliant also in what they did.
yeah. And then, well, anyway, it's the Jewish New Year. For those who are
That's
home,
Wait, how are you celebrating, Mayo Man?
well, but I just want to. These are my wishes for the new year. Okay, I
Okay.
wish for peace, unity, and
good luck.
prosperity.
Good
Now,
luck.
what we're actually going to get might
Prosperity.
be a little different because right now there's war and division and
No
not
more
so much
wars.
prosperity.
7 wars just came to an end. What are you talking about?
They're all over.
Hey, let's
He was
take our
naming
first
off
break.
countries that didn't exist. Like,
Let's take our first break, and then we're going to get into your adventure, which I hear
What
included a tuna sub at the Hard Rock Stadium.
oh,
on
that
Friday
was
night.
kind of interesting.
Yeah, we're going to get.
Yeah, it was interesting.
We'll get to that, and then we'll do a recap of the Rosh Hashanah dinners. We had a beautiful time here last night, and I'll get into all of that. Val cooked a beautiful chicken that we picked up from Delaware Seafood and Chicken Farm, and
It's funny too. I have to mention this because Andy's mentioning the Castaways.
Mhm.
I once got a long time ago when I came down here on a college vacation. I was with 2 other guys, and we were standing around at the Castaways, and the cops came and arrested everybody for loitering. So I ended up in the Dade County Jail for like a day because they did it on a Saturday night, and there was no court on Sunday. Now they were going to let you go with a $10 fine. But I'll never forget this. That was my one experience at the Castaways. What was it, on 163rd Street?
okay.
But during a spring break or whatever that was at the time, that's where everybody gathered. And they
Lubie-
literally surrounded like 100 kids and took them all to jail.
Lubie, have you ever spent any time incarcerated?
No.
That's a no. Okay.
I've actually been outside the cell when we went to New Orleans, and I was
This was like 1971 or
a
something.
senior in college. And we
Oh,
went to
you
New
bailed
Orleans.
somebody out? Because I have several instances of bailing friends out. I think there's 3 of them.
I've done it
One
twice.
in New Orleans and 2 in South Florida.
Done it in New
but
Orleans, and I've done it down here. Yes.
Myself, and I have never been arrested or
The
incarcerated.
food that they offered at the time was not exactly let's eat
Prison
something.
loaf? No,
I mean, it definitely would have been a lot of complaints. About
but I almost got arrested and had that experience at a Trump rally in
Well,
Boca
because,
Raton in March of 2016.
you used to
but
be a bolder human being, Mayo Man. I don't know.
I decided not to get arrested because my daughter at the time, I had her that night. She was with my parents who were visiting, and if I didn't show up at home that night, it would have been traumatic for everybody. But the Crusader in me wanted to get arrested, but I didn't do it.
I think you should have done it. It would have been good for your career.
Not been
Yeah, it would
arrested.
have been better for you.
Nah, that's all right. All right. Hey, it is a Tropical Acres
Or incarcerated.
Tuesday here on the show.
The
and-
Acres got high praise from my friend Jimmy Walker, who loves the happy hour. He's a king of all happy hours, and he loves the happy hour at Tropical Acres.
and
Loves
who wouldn't? If you can get a
Belvedere
Belvedere
martini,
martini for
$8.
$8, you get those sliders, those sirloin sliders. I think it's $10 now, but it's like enough to fill you up for a full meal. And they have the coconut shrimp. They have all kinds of great light bites on the happy hour menu. That's 4:30 to 6:30 in the bar, plus half off every cocktail. All the premium stuff included. That's just one of the reasons why I love Tropical Acres. Another one is the $39 Twin Lobster Special, which is ongoing through the fall until mid-November.
Well, we should
And-
all go in there and just do that one.
Let's
night.
do it. We got to see.
Of the arrival of Luca Panici Lubitz.
Yes.
Four
we
and a half.
gotta-
Lubie,
we
are
should-
you in?
We should do an
Oh yeah, no, I'm down. We have
annual meal. See the Studiales, Jack and his sons Joe, and of
You know
course
Jack's going
Jackson.
to take care of Lubie. At least.
And
Yeah.
it's just such a great day. 76 years. It's older than even Defo. And
I mean, and when you think about it, how do they not have sciatica and all kinds of crazy conditions?
no, they keep going.
Amazing,
And
they keep going.
they
Yeah.
are very spry on their feet there. We love them. They're open every day but Sunday. They are going to be open for Thanksgiving. If you want to get in on it, give them a call right now to make your reservations for either upcoming week or for Thanksgiving Day, 954-989-2500. And don't forget, get your loyalty reward card, get them punched. And for every 12 entrees that you purchase, you get the 13th one for $35 credit towards your 13th entree. It's one of the many reasons why I love the place. I have about
How
five.
many cards do you have? I mean,
I've got 5 cards going because I never forget to. I always forget to bring it in with me, so then they give me a new one. And then sometimes
Can you
I give.
combine them? I mean,
Yes,
you
you can bring them in, and they will combine them for you because
And you
that's
got
the kind of
6
people.
here, you got 5 there. Here you go. Here's a lobster.
It's a beautiful thing.
Nice.
Go to Tropical Acres and tell them the Lunchbox sent you. All right, let's come back after these words on the Lunchbox, and we'll talk about Defoe's big night at the ball game.
Stadium experience was interesting. It really was.
All right,
I have
hear
to
from
say.
it
Yeah.
in a minute. Bye. When people ask me about the best restaurants in South Florida, Casa D'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First-class dining, top-flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef-founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good, with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended for a special occasion or any occasion. Casa D'Angelo. Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk and Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch and Taco Tuesdays with their $4 premium tacos, including their new burrito tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo, the Lunchbox, sent you. The finest quality, warm hospitality, and world-class creativity. Those are the ingredients that make Daniel's, a Florida steakhouse, a special place. Come experience the restaurant that's Michelin Guide recommended and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved, with an impressive collection of steaks, seafood, and more, like their foie gras creme brulee. Daniel's is located at 620 South Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, just south of the New River Tunnel, open Tuesday through Sunday for dinner. For reservations and information, go to danielssteak.com. Fresh local fish, a sophisticated setting. I'm talking about Corvina Seafood Grill. It's at 110 Plaza Real South in Boca Raton, just south of Palmetto Park Road. It's the place to go for the freshest and local seafood and fish, some of it with a Peruvian twist like their great ceviches. It's open 7 days for dinner. They also have happy hour 7 days a week. You don't want to miss it. It's a great place. CorvinaBocaRaton.com for more information and reservations. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Same great Thai food, beautiful new location. I'm talking about Eat Thai, now in Boca Raton at 6299 North Federal Highway. Thai cuisine is having a moment, and Chef Sopanut makes some of the best in South Florida. A hip and modern spot with authentic Thai street food and some innovative twists. The spicy oxtail soup, Thai bouillabaisse, shrimp ceviche, and classic noodle dishes will wow you. And they now offer full liquor and craft cocktails too. Open every day but Tuesday for lunch and dinner. Go to eatthaiflorida.com for more information. A tradition for South Florida sports fans for more than 30 years, Shenanigans. It's at 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach, the place to go for all your favorite teams and events and food that's not your ordinary sports bar fare. Award-winning wings, burgers, fresh fish, and more, TV screens galore, and all-day happy hour specials. The kitchen and bar open into the wee hours, perfect for late night bites and very close to the airport. For playoff action, football season, and a good time anytime, Shenanigans. Looking for inspired comfort food in a cozy setting? Blue Collar in Miami is the place to go. Located at 6789 Biscayne Boulevard, it moved to bigger digs a year ago, now has full liquor, and still features all your old favorites from chef owner Danny Surfer. Fantastic burgers, the braise of the day, and the city's best key lime pie. And the summer specials are sizzling. Miami Spice menu in August, September, and drink specials every day. Open daily with weekend brunch. For reservations and information, go to bluecollarmiami.com.
What we gonna do right?
All right, we're back here on the Lunchbox. It's a Tuesday. Also, I should just note that it's the final week of Miami Spice and also Dine Out Lauderdale. So if you want to get your last licks in, so to speak, for the good values around town, go check out some of the places. Miami Spice, of course, our friend Danny Surfer's two restaurants, Blue Collar and Mignonette. They offer great Miami Spice deals, along with over 100 in the Broward area, along with our friends Cafe Max and Even Keel and all these other places. So go check it out. One note: Juan's, which now is kind of the you call it the senior preeminent dean of Chinese restaurants in South Florida. Been around since 1966, which is actually longer than Christine Lee's.
That's pretty amazing.
4 generations. Alex is running it up, obviously, in Fort Lauderdale, where his aunt Christina Juan was running the show for over 20
That
years.
guy's a great guy. If you were going to carry on the family tradition, Alex does a tremendous job there. He really does.
And he, again, he took over from his aunt who retired at the end of last year. And Alex, kind of reopened it in March. It's going strong, but they are closed this week because he's a good Jewish boy. But he realized that it's a good time to kind of give the staff a little break. So they're on a 1-week vacation / hiatus. But a lot of people confuse Christina Juan's with Christine Lee's. They are not related. Yes, they are both Chinese American restaurants that are both classics and longevity here in South Florida. But Christina Juan's, which is now just Juan's and run by her nephew Alex, they are still in business and they offer some great ribs and other Chinese American classics. But they're not going to be open again until October 1st, Wednesday, which I believe is also Rosh Hashanah, or no, Yom Kippur starts on the evening of the 1st, right? Is that right, Lubie? You're my
Yes.
resident Jewish
Next
expert.
Wednesday
He's
night.
like a rabbi on this show. He's great.
Whole Nidre begins, which is
Next Wednesday night.
Wednesday night. But Juan's will be back open on Wednesday. And for those of you fasting, you can go in there right on Thursday night when the fast ends. Although you could also, for people who pick up bagels and what's your preferred breakfast meal? And when was the last time you fasted? I know, Lubie, you still
I
do
think
it.
Lubie does it every year.
Every year, yeah.
Yeah. And what's your traditional breakfast meal, Lubie?
I mean, the standard. Bagels,
Bagels.
lox, cream
Whopper
cheese,
Jr., yeah.
tuna, fish, egg salad. Yeah, that was before egg salad. They used to do carp and
All the good high
I
quality
don't think
fish.
do that as much. Liver, the chopped liver.
Right. But liver is meat. Does it go with the fish and the cheese?
I don't know.
That's not
But
really
I'm just saying
kosher.
all the kind of different salads. I don't
Oh,
know.
actually, liver is chicken, so you can have chicken.
Chopped liver. I presume chopped liver was there because
All
are
these rules. Oh my
crackers
god.
and bagels. I don't know.
They're
And-
all made up because of some ancient,
These are
problem.
all the things.
I don't disrespect anybody's beliefs, and if they want to follow the kashrut, the
Did they have
Jewish
chicken liver
diet,
like 5,000 years ago? Chicken liver?
I don't know if they had
Like, did you
chicken.
go to a deli and like just get like some chicken liver?
All they had was
like
wheat
a quarter
and
pound or something?
I think they just had manna from heaven and some matzah, and that was it. They had to
I'm
make
thinking
do
of like
with it.
Cro-Magnon man walking around trying to
don't
figure
know.
out what the hell to eat. I mean,
When was the last time you fasted, Defo?
I haven't fasted in a long. I don't even know if I ever.
It was
fasted.
when you were broke in Vegas and you couldn't even scrounge
Oh,
up an
well, I
In-N-Out
was telling you
burger.
a story about when I first moved to California. My buddy and I had no money and we couldn't eat. We ended up working in that junkyard. And then we feasted on ragu, spaghetti sauce, and Italian bread. And it was like we just went to the Waldorf Astoria and got like a high-end meal or something. But
Well, as we displayed,
I don't know that I fasted 24 hours. I mean, I probably have sometime in my life, but I and I think about it. Like I always tell myself, this was a phrase of mine when I was trying to lose weight. a few years ago when COVID first hit and I started the walk of life. Nothing to the muffin, because I used to eat an English muffin every morning for breakfast. And then I would try to convince myself to eat nothing until I got to the next English muffin the next morning.
No, that's
But I can't do it, man. I just during a break, I took a spoonful of chili that I got from Publix.
there you go. And
The
again,
last meal.
doing that one day from the next, a muffin to muffin. I mean, that's now become a trend, the intermittent fasting. But I
Intermittent
don't.
fast, but there's probably a lot of merit to that. But I don't eat large portions of food at any time. I'm like Lubie. Lubie's good like this. And
That's the
maybe you were kind of weaning yourself in that direction after, unfortunately
yeah,
shoveling a
no.
lot of food in your face, which I did. I mean, Michael, I'm telling you, I was with somebody I knew like back in the day, not even that long ago, maybe like 10, 15 years ago. She sent me some pictures of us together. I was you in these before and after pictures. I
Oh,
really
no,
was.
and
I can't believe how fat I was.
look, I've
Disgusting.
yo-yoed with weight my entire life. I've been, as svelte as 165 and as fat as almost 260 at my height of
260 was like the end for me. It was like, that's it.
and I remember one time I was puffy when I was a sports writer, and I was covering the golf beat, and at that point I was getting like my highest at that point before I became a food critic. If I got over 200 to like 210, it was like, oh my God, what's going now? I would kill to be 205. But I remember one time a golfer came up to me on the range. I forget which one it was.
So what have you been doing besides eating?
No, he said, "What'd you do? Stick a hose up your ass? You look like the Hindenburg."
I remember in the 6th grade, Coach DeLuca said to me, "What have you been doing over the summer besides eating?"
Yeah.
And I thought, really, I looked that bad? I
Look,
don't know. And I was sort of athletic. I mean, I was
we've got
one
the
of the top
chunky
guys.
Jew. We've got the chunky Jew gene. If we'd let ourselves go,
Yeah.
we really have to do the
Walk of
portion
life,
control.
man, every day. That's all you got to do.
Little exercise, a little portion control, and not so much drinking anymore for me. So that's
Oh, well, that's a mistake here because I'm on my
well,
second. This is the last of that Seagram's
okay. There you go.
right
Oh,
here,
you're polishing
and I
up
got a
bottles.
second bottle of Indian River
We
grape.
need an intervention there.
I don't
No,
know.
I mean, look, I earned it. I'm telling you, I
Sorry.
earned it. I was
You
out
did.
playing.
Anybody who look, however you get through this day and age, these times, I say, I'm all for it. And that's why, I've got to renew my medical marijuana card. Just a little bit of gummy just takes the edge off. So that's all.
No, you need to take a whole one. It'll help your creativity. I'm telling you.
I don't think so.
Now that you're
Not
writing
on the
articles
show.
again and all of this stuff, you really want to open up your mind a little bit.
All right, but before we get to your adventure, let me just do a quick recap of I had a great holiday meal last night. I ended up inviting my brother and sister-in-law. They were off. They came over to Val's house. Val invited her son and two of her grandkids, and because they're off school today, and it was so basically there was seven of us, and I ended up getting way too much food because as I learned that there would be more people joining us, I just ended up stocking up. I did 3 stops yesterday, and we had basically 3-course meal. The first course was matzo ball soup
Nice.
and chopped liver and some
Nice.
gefilte fish
I'm
and
glad I missed all of that.
and the fresh challah, like the round challah, one
I need
plain,
to go
one
to
with
the store.
raisins.
What do you think, man? Would you have been in on that?
I need to go to the store and get one of those because Shirley loves challah, and we were supposed to go to my parents, but we're not going to get over there.
Challah bread's okay. The rest of it you can have.
So
But,
these
I
foods
like matzo ball soup, but yes, gefilte fish I don't need.
Matzo ball
Once-
soup
once
has
a year.
these foods were gathered by past and hopefully future lunchbox sponsors. I got the the soup and
Top
the
liver from
challahs at
Grandpa's.
Grandpa's. I got the chicken liver
Oh, you can get that
at
from Delaware.
how's
Delaware Chicken.
how's
Delaware
free-
Chicken Farm and Seafood in
Oh,
Hollywood
really?
has the best chopped liver
Get out of here.
because it's so fresh. They have all these, whole chickens that they sell, but they take out the
Did you see Gene?
liver. I did see Gene,
Oh,
and
how's
he
he doing?
sends his regards. I
Great.
saw
Wow.
Jose, I saw Gene,
Jose?
and it was nice to see Jose and Gene. And but again, the liver there.
You
fresh.
haven't mentioned them though since you've been trying to poach stone crabs off these guys.
No,
For,
it's all
for
right.
a while.
Stone crab season starts October 15th, and hopefully we'll be back in there next month. But the liver there, it is so fresh, and you could tell it's not like some of these things that have been processed and sitting around for months. Like you can tell it was ground up that day with some onions. It needed just a little bit of salt, but it was so good.
You have a
And
criticism of it?
so that was the first course. The second course, I got one of the whole roaster chickens from Delaware. It was a 6-pound bird. Val seasoned it and put it in the oven. Oh my God, this thing was so good. And I think you did that a couple of months ago where you just pop in one of these fresh roasters if you've just seasoned it a little bit properly. And and it came out of the oven in 2 hours. So juicy. Second course, the
Well, were
roast.
you a beer can chicken guy at any time in your life?
Never did the beer can.
I really love that.
Roast
I really do.
chicken, the brisket sliced so thin from Grandpa's, and Clive, my man there, he slices his brisket like locks. You can almost see through it. It's translucent. It was gorgeous with the au jus. You put it in the oven, just warm it up a little bit, get the gravy. Then I got kashavanishkas. I got some knishes.
What?
Kashavanishkas, which is the bow tie with kasha, which
Noodles
is
with the grain.
green beans almondine. Both of
Nice.
those from
I
Grandpa's.
could have those.
Got a couple of knishes from Grandpa's.
Oh,
throwing a
nice.
few, a potato knish
Really
and a
good.
spinach feta knish. And then, unbeknownst to me, Val did a cooking project with the grandkids. She busted out, and not bad for a Catholic girl from South Miami Beach or from Miami Beach. She made a noodle kugel.
Nice.
We had some noodles
What
in the
did you
pantry.
eat? Oh, what did not? What
Wow, that's-
Jewish food did you not eat?
Oh
last
no,
night?
it was an unbelievable cornucopia of.
salad.
Did you
of
have
all kinds of- and-
herring and onions or
No.
anything like that?
Get
No?
this. So the kashavanikas had
Cream
the onions in it, the which is kasha and the sauteed onions.
I
Which
take
is,
it you weren't making out after this.
no, but so the noodle kugel, she surprised me because she said, "I'm going to make it with the grandkids." I was like, "We don't have any cottage cheese in the house." She busted out this recipe. She improvised. She used ricotta cheese
that would be the way to go.
and Greek yogurt,
There.
and some of the sugar, brown sugar, cinnamon, some other
Don't
things.
use cottage cheese.
So you're a full blown Jew at this point.
I don't
My
think
mother used to use cottage
yeah?
cheese,
Oh,
which
you're
is probably
supposed to use
why I
farmer's cheese.
hated noodle kugel.
You're
What
supposed to
did
use
you
farmer's-
use?
You're supposed to use farmer's cheese.
Well, farmer's cheese is cottage cheese.
I know, but it's not exact. It's not the exact. Cottage cheese is really loose and.
Well, anyway, props to Val because she knocked it out of the park with this bird, with the chicken and the noodle kugel.
Yeah, nice. It's
But
great.
of course, I brought in all the other stuff, and everybody ate way too much. My brother contributed a bottle of really nice kosher wine.
Nice.
What, Manischewitz? What? Cherry?
No,
Oh.
it was a really good Pinot Noir from the Galilee Valley, I guess, or the Golan Heights. I'm sorry,
Do
the
people still
Golan
drink
Heights
Manischewitz on these holidays?
in Israel.
Try
This-
not to. We try-
Israel has some really nice wine growing regions now.
Mayo, you
and-
dodged my question. You're like Caroline Levitt.
what was it?
Do people still drink Manischewitz wine?
Not at my house. That's not allowed. Not allowed in my house. My brother did
What
buy.
would you rather have, a Manischewitz grape or a Yago sangria?
Probably
God.
yeah.
Boone's
What would be more likely to get you to
And a Chevitz is
Mad Dog
where
2020
you're
or
about to pass
Boone's
out? Yeah.
Boone's Farm. That's it. That was some awful stuff there.
You know what I mean? You made me think of, and we talked about this a little bit last week, and I have an invitation to go there tonight, but I'm probably going to have to pass for my weekly Tuesday at the tip. But the sangria should not be slept on at the Cafe Seville.
Oh no, that Joey does such a tremendous job with
Great
everything.
job. Great.
Yeah, I mean, I usually get now because I love the bar scene, and they have some really good bourbons and ryes. And I've been drinking Manhattans now. I've switched from the old fashions because the Manhattans,
Great Manhattan there also.
old fashioned is a little too sweet for me, but the Manhattan has a little bit more of a bitter taste, and I love those Manhattans straight up there. My man Kevin
Great
and
job, man.
Vanessa, they are the great bartenders there at Cafe Seville. So yeah, you got that right. Oh, meanwhile, dessert. There was a third course last night. I picked up an array of baked goods and pastries from my friend Keith Fryman at Bake Shack in Dania Beach. I used to be there all the time because I lived right down the block. Now I haven't seen him in a few months, and he said, "Hey there, Mr. Skinny." So he hadn't seen me in a while,
Oh, wow.
and he took pity on me, and he
How good did that feel?
it felt really good.
Yeah.
And then of course I basically all came undone last night. He gave me the apple fritters. I didn't give it to me.
Nothing like an apple fritter to
I didn't snore entirely, but he gave me, let's say, a deeply discounted box of goodies because I
You
got
snored. I mean, you got it for free. Come on.
honey buns. No, I paid $10 and I tipped another.
Oh,
10.
10,
So I got a big box of beautiful desserts,
What
honey
about-
buns, apple fritters. I even threw in a guava pastry for Lubie and Shirley, and also
Nice.
a chocolate chip cookie. Kids enjoyed that.
Oh, where's Lubie and Shirley? They weren't.
And I wasn't there, but at
No,
least
but
a lot of us.
It was in the
Thank
So
you.
you got
it was a great
guy
meal.
you knew wasn't going to be there.
That
Nice going.
sounds really
I,
good.
I ate way too much last night. I had to pass out sitting upright. Otherwise, I was going to have a reflux attack.
But you had the Lions in the over. So what
I
difference?
had the Lions, and no, and then this morning the Ozempic kicked in, and in terms of it, I paid the penalty for overeating. And
Oh, really?
and
That
here
has
we are.
consequences?
Oh yeah, you can
No, don't even
overeat.
mention that again. Don't even mention it. I don't want to ever bring that up again.
Okay, so
You were so insufferable on that. I can't bring it up again.
no, it's all good.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, let's take the second break, and then finally we'll get to the Saturday night saga at Pro Player State. What do they call it now? Hard Rock.
Hard
Hard
Rock.
Rock Stadium, man. You know what? I mean, wow. I mean, it's strange. Look,
Reasonable parking and very
we've all
close.
been to a million games. I mean, it was a part of my routine for a good 30, 40 years of my life. It's just a different experience now. It's really kind of great. I don't know how a lot of people do it. I really don't.
All right, I've got questions. We're going to have the full interrogation from Mayo about all the various aspects of
Food, we actually had access to a club that had reasonably good looking food. Didn't seem to be outrageously priced, which was strange. I didn't have any of it.
But you filled up on your sub beforehand, your Laspada.
Oh, the Laspanas. I mean, that's the way to go.
All right, we'll get into that. Hey, before we do, let's talk about Casa d'Angelo. They have a full fall schedule of great events, including some wine dinners upcoming, and they get some of the the most prestigious winemakers around the globe, and I think they're having one coming up from. I forget what it was. I should do my research, but I know it's going to be great. All you got to do is go online to the website casa-d-angelo.com and you'll check out their full schedule. You could also make a reservation. It is the supreme place for Italian food. And I'm talking true Italian, like European Italian. The freshest ingredients, finest quality, unbelievable service. The wine list and the wine cellar also unmatched. Go to Casa d'Angelo. There's 3 locations, one up in Boca Raton with Chef Ricky, one down in Aventura next to Gulfstream Park, and of course the original flagship location, Fort Lauderdale, right there, Federal Highway 1201, North Federal Highway, right above the Big Bend. And tell them the Lunchbox sent you. All right, let's take the second and final break, and then we will find out whether a trip to a big ball game is still worth it, even if you get parking and admission free.
But it costs a lot of money, man, this whole thing.
We'll see after these words. Thanks.
Hey, Lunchbox fans, is it time to sell your business? You've poured your heart and soul into your restaurant or business, and you want to see continue the legacy you have built. Transworld can help. Call me, Andy Cagnetta, at Transworld Business Advisors right now and see if it's time for you to retire and relax. Iconic brands like the Mai Kai, Mulligans, Carlos and Pepe's, Mangoes, and many more turn to Transworld to help sell. Contact Transworld on Facebook or call 954-772-1122 or visit tworld.com. Again, that's 954-772-1122 or tworld.com.
When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks. They're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Guess who's back and better than ever? Juan's. For the best in classic old school Chinese cuisine, a family-run South Florida favorite since 1966. It's at 664 North Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, open every day but Tuesday for lunch and dinner. Chef Alex is carrying on the family tradition that started 4 generations ago. It used to be known as Christina Juan's Mandarin House, and you're going to love it as Juan's. They've got all your favorites: wonton soup, spare ribs, egg rolls, dumplings, Peking duck, and more. Combo lunch specials daily and takeout and delivery. For more information, go to their Instagram page at wans.fl. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, upscale food in a down-home setting, the chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. Looking for a real New York slice? Check out Peter's Pizzeria, your neighborhood pizza shop. With 2 locations, 1166 North Federal Highway in Pompano Beach and 897 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca Raton. Slices, whole pies, specialty pizzas, heroes, rice balls, salads, pastas, and Mama's homemade desserts. It's New York flavor, Florida made. Originally from Long Island, Peter brings passion and pride to his pizzas. No matter where you're from, you'll feel right at home. Open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner with delivery and takeout. Place your order today at mypeters.com. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. I did a little research, and the Casa D'Angelo, they got 2 upcoming wine dinners in Fort Lauderdale, one on Thursday night, and it's Catena Zapata, which is one of the premier Argentine wine producers, and that's going to be this Thursday. And then next month, this is a goodie, Stag's Leap from Napa Valley, one of the premier Napa Valley wineries with their premier Cabernet Sauvignons. Do you like Stag's Leap? Have you ever had any of their?
A big Stag's Leap. I was just with a friend of mine, an old girlfriend from many years ago, and she's a sommelier, and she was a big Stag's Leap fan, doing a lot of buying for a wine location in Key West right now, and big fan of Stag's Leap. So
nice. Yeah, and that's going to be on October 23rd is the Stag's Leap dinner. I don't know the night of the week because I don't have the calendar in front of me, but that is going to be a Thursday night also. So go online to the Casa D'Angelo website, make your reservations now. Going to be some fantastic food and wine at Casa D'Angelo. All right, 2 bits of sports news before we get into the Defo adventure. Number 1, it looks like Jackson Dart has been officially named the Giants starter for the upcoming week. So Russell Wilson's days as a starter look to be over in New York. And number 2,
you saw that headline in the Post, or did you?
What was it? What did it say?
Well, he threw an interception late in the Dallas Cowboys game, which it looked like he was going to win. He had like 400 yards passing.
Russell Wilson did. Yeah, he had a good night.
And, the headline on the back page of the Post, classic. I mean, you being a newspaper man, dark side of the moon ball.
Because he floated one.
Moonball, that's what they call his passes. Yeah. Sure enough, the dark side showed up. But they've been screaming for Jackson Dart in New York for since the preseason. So
sports item number 2. This is for horse racing fans. Paco Lopez. You won't be seeing him.
Suspended?
6-month suspension. I don't know if you remember that incident at the end of last year where he was up riding at Parks in Philadelphia. And after the finish of the race, he had a horse who was acting obstreperously. There's the word of the day, obstreperous. A horse was being unruly after the race was already run.
And he hit him with a whip.
And he started pounding the crap out of him, and it was caught on camera. And it caused a big hue and cry. And just now, earlier today, the horse racing, I guess it's called, the Horse Racing Integrity and Safety Authority
Okay.
ISSA, announced Tuesday that jockey Paco Lopez has been suspended 6 months, a 6-month suspension. So he's going to miss the entire winter meet.
He's a good rider, man. I had dinner with Paco Lopez and a couple of friends at Dada in Delray Beach one night, and he couldn't have been any more entertaining of
Now,
a guy to talk to. With his
I don't
story.
know if he's going to be appealing this. I don't know if there's a way to appeal this authority or what he can do, but 6 months is a significant chunk of time for a jockey.
And we have to send. I can't believe this guy's coming back like in a few weeks. Brian Hernandez, the jockey, is riding at Churchill, and of course, was involved in the Triple Crown and a lot of big races of late. And he was involved in an ugly spill at Churchill Downs. 7 broken ribs, vertebrae, this, that, bladder perforated, all kinds of crazy stuff. Coming back in like a few weeks. Amazing, these guys.
Well, he's got some big mounts for the Breeders' Cup. So, the ribs, they heal up. But, man, that's painful. And these guys are daredevils out there.
I got to show you this because it's right out of the category of Mayo eats a lot of garbage. This is the worst product I've ever bought in my life.
Oscar Mayer what?
Can you see that?
What is
Oscar
it?
Mayer
Oscar Mayer ham and cheese loaf.
Oh, God.
Made with real cheese. Now,
What are you doing? Are you getting high before you go?
No. This is great, and you got to see the. I don't know if this will come off on the camera or not. I'm going to try and grab a slice of this crap here because it's so strange. Can you see like what it looks like?
Oh my God! It's studded with little bits of horrible hunks of cheese. It looks like a kid hurled on it after eating some.
No one in their right mind would ever eat a slice of this. $7 at the local convenience store.
I want to see you roll it up right now and do a big.
Oh, I can't eat
Shove
this.
it right down.
You know what? I don't even like. I would rather pick up dog crap.
He's not
A piece of this stuff.
This is a weird show.
Who buys this?
I have no
Who
appetite.
buys this? I bought a pack of
You
this,
did.
but out of desperation, complete and total desperation.
How much do they charge for that product?
This
then?
was $7 and change.
That's freaking
You
ridiculous.
could have bought a half pound of boar's head roast beef, probably.
You could have
for
got
like
so
less.
many other things for that money. You could have.
I was out of desperation because I think you knew about my incident with Skippy, and he had a problem, and I had to give him some antibiotics. And dogs, don't. I mean, you're not going to say, "Hey, Skippy, you ready
Give
for
him
your
something,
assault?"
yeah.
Right. So I happened to be out late the one night, and I didn't have anything to roll it up in that he would eat. So I figured I better go to some convenience store, see if I can get like some Oscar Mayer turkey or something.
Bologna, at least.
And they had nothing except this. And it was $7, and I'm thinking, who buys this?
Oh, so this you bought at a 7-Eleven? This was like a
Not even
late
a 7-Eleven, like a lower level 7-Eleven convenience store somewhere in Lauderdale by the Sea.
5-9? It's not even
In
7-Eleven.
fact, I didn't even notice it. It was so obscured, and when I went by, I said, "Oh man, they don't have anything here that I can do this with. I'm going to be in trouble tomorrow. I got to get this dog his pill." So finally, the guy at the counter was very nice. He said, "Oh no, we have something like that." And he gave me this.
Oh
For
God!
7 and change.
So do you feed it to your dog? Would you feed this to?
You know what? He actually likes it.
Of course.
But he would be the only one that actually likes it.
This might explain why he's been having some health issues.
No, I mean, look, he's a dog, so for him, I mean, he eats very, very healthy food, like I told you, from meals.
I would sooner feed my dog Skyline chili than that piece of.
I don't know that he would eat Skyline chili. I think Skyline he would reject. But
But he likes that.
who makes this product? Does anybody in the Let's Eat South Florida group eat?
Oscar Mayer.
Why don't you post a picture
Oscar
of it?
Mayer, not even Louis Rich. Oscar Mayer ham and cheese.
I didn't know they did ham.
Here's
A little
your
strips of
assignment.
cheese in there. I mean, what do you think, Mayo?
I would
Is that
like
the
you to
worst
take
product you've ever seen.
I would like you to take a picture of the product and put a post up on Let's Eat and say, "Who's tried this? I actually bought it," and then just leave it up for the people to fill in the
It's
blank.
only 70 calories a slice.
Oh, God. Right. Meanwhile, we're talking about Lubie. You came on the air when we came on. You were nibbling on what? A Whopper Junior?
A Whopper Junior, yes.
What
Did you
prompted
see that post about the Whopper Juniors? Did you see
no.
that?
I did, and that's why I
What
kind
was
of
it
cracked
doing?
up.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
A
What,
guy went to Burger King, and apparently they're running a 2 for $5 Whopper or
they
Whopper
do a
Junior.
$5 duo and a $7 trio, and it's a bunch of different items that you can pick and choose.
Do you have to download it from the app first?
No. They've had this. They've been running this a long time. It's
They
actually.
robbed that guy, by the way.
They robbed that guy. So this guy, I don't know if he did it through an app or
I've
what.
never had any issue when I go. I mean,
He
actually,
basically said he ordered 4 Whopper Juniors, was expecting to pay
Which means
$10.
That begs another question, which
Getting
people brought up. who's eating leftover Whopper Juniors?
Yeah, he says he eats it throughout the week. Like he wraps it up, puts it in the fridge, and then nukes it, and he has one every day for lunch.
I do it the next day. I don't let it go 4 days. I do it the next day. It should go more than a day.
Wait, you actually do that too? You do a twofer and then you have one?
Because I don't need 2 of those sandwiches.
You got to get some more.
How do we have a show like this, Mayo?
This is not.
I don't go more than
Whopper Juniors frozen.
I don't go more than a day.
You've just been demoted.
This.
Yeah. What happened to everybody?
We haven't had shows.
I'm talking about like Casa D'Angelo.
We were at Eat Thai yesterday. Brought home a boatload of pad Thai. Didn't you have that?
No, what did we have? We were doing. Oh no, we had to do these vaccinations because we are big fans of vaccinations, and they do this thing now, which is cool that the mother can actually get vaccinations that will go to the baby. So Shirley had to get vaccinated, and the Tdap is also something that's good for me to get. So she hadn't eaten in freaking hours, literally.
Well, you're not allowed to eat when you get vaccinated?
No, it wasn't supposed to take long. They had already made appointments for us at this Walgreens. We were there over an hour. So
they're hiding this stuff now because if RFK Jr. finds out that a pregnant woman is getting a vaccine, and
it was not Clutch Cargo. I was wrong about this. It was Dick Tracy that had the character Mumbles.
Okay. Mumbles,
right? I remember the cartoon character Mumbles. Didn't it sound like that yesterday at that press conference?
I don't even care about that. But what I want to know.
Well, I had to give it. So I gave her Pringles because she doesn't eat snacks because she had to eat something. So then after that we went to, but they only had one of the vaccines. So we were there an hour and they only had one vaccine. So they sent it to another Walgreens. We were at that Walgreens for 50 minutes. And at this point, she's only had chips over the last 6 hours. So before we got home and I was going meeting, a buddy of mine was in town. So she just wanted some kind of protein, and she likes Whoppers. So I liked her.
Okay,
again,
but I got some questions. First of all, has Shirley ever taken Tylenol during this pregnancy, and is she now worried the fact that some people are saying that acetaminophen or whatever, however you pronounce it, acetaminophen. Everybody knows that. Tylenol is acetaminophen, and Motrin and Advil are the brand names for ibuprofen. Yes. I mean, if you can't pronounce that, how do you rise to any level of?
That's a wonderful question.
No, man. The UN speech was great.
What do you mean he sat in front of the UN today? This is not a bunch of people in Mississippi that are his base. This is the UN. These are world leaders that are all well educated and highly informed. And he did all the same. He did his greatest hits. It's like, dude, this is not the place to do that. Like, they know you're lying. Like,
it was phenomenal today. That was the greatest theater ever. Like, does this come across on screen there?
There's a picture of
up on my Facebook page. Do you see that? Can you make that out, Mayo?
I can't see that. Is that a sushi item? No.
It's the chips, the buffalo chips at Brews Room.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God! I mean,
been a fan of that place. Eddie Hauk, right? Is that
Eddie's going great? We should have him on a show, man. He's still.
Well, let's do a show there.
He's a very, very interesting restaurateur in the way that his home.
Was he a hockey player?
Eddie Hauk? I don't believe so. But
am I thinking of another place that used to be on Federal Highway?
That was Rosie Paymont.
Rosie Paymont, yeah.
It's a good friend of mine. I did a lot of things with Rosie, and we had a lot of shows at the Penalty Box. Penalty Box Lounge was an underrated place.
That was okay.
Eventually sold the property there, and it became like a Best Buy or something. But remember, the Penalty Box was a classic.
Yeah,
the outdoor beach volleyball before beach volleyball was popular.
It was back in the day.
Yeah, many shows I did.
Long lost relics of the South.
Rosie cooked something for me. We went out fishing with Rosie, and my friend caught a big wahoo. And Rosie did it like in the brown paper bag thing where he cooked it up in the ovens there. Wahoo's not supposed to be like the best eating fish necessarily. I never had a better tasting piece of fish than Rosie Paymont. I think he's still around, Rosie. I haven't talked to him for a while, but he's always been like he's always had places.
Those other NHL great, the goaltenders are dropping. There were threes, right? Ken Dryden, Ed Giacomin, and now Bernie Perrant all checked out. So it does happen in threes.
It's a short trip, man. So
we didn't get into the full extent of
we can talk about it another time. Yeah.
Okay. But the bottom line was you ate a tuna sub in the parking lot.
Oh, that was the best.
And then you saved it for after the game, and you didn't know whether you could still eat it the next day.
I wasn't sure because it was super humid out that night. It wasn't hot
But it's
necessarily,
not hot in direct sunlight. But
but it
it's
was in the trunk of Mike Nyman's car.
oh God! And did you eat it?
And
the next
I
day?
did keep it. You know what? I loved it so much. I don't normally. I mean, this was a large tuna sub from Las Patas. Normally, if I ate half, I would feel like sort of like a lot of Jewish guilt about that. But I ate 2/3 of it. It was cut in thirds.
The
Right
12
there at
inch,
the
the
game.
big one.
The giant, yeah,
Yeah.
large. All right, so there was a third left, and when we left, I was thinking, geez, I mean, do we leave it for Nyman or would he take the subs? My other friend had an Italian sub, and we both decided we were going to take this stuff. And I ended up eating it over the next 2 days, but it still was good. I'm okay, right? Do I look okay to you guys? I don't have
Fine
any like.
now.
No,
You'll
you're
know if
good.
you're sick or
You're
not.
playing Russian roulette. You're eating
Look at
Oscar
that,
Mayer cheese
And
ham.
the fish, aspect of it with mayonnaise kind of like, makes me a little queasy about having stuff sitting in a car for a long period
Yeah,
of
it's
time.
not great. Even I probably.
But it was so good, Mike Mayo, so good that I could not leave it. That's how good it was.
The other thing I had last night was I got some gefilte fish from Delaware, which I know you love, Defo. But fresh
I don't understand that. I really
with
don't.
the red horseradish, that was
Yeah.
all I had was like a third of a piece of that, and
I would
half
venture to
of
say I
a-
will never have another piece of a gefilte fish, or even a bite or a taste. Even you offered me like hundreds of dollars to try some, and
Who
I,
did? He put the 100 on the table.
you know what? Go bet it yourself, man. Go hit an exacta.
Okay,
Make a $50 box with that.
gonna do it. All right, tomorrow we're going to be at Daniel's, a Florida steakhouse in Fort Lauderdale. I think it's a 1 p.m. start, and then we're at Peter's Pizzeria. We'll see you at Peter's on Thursday, right, Defo? That's
I'm going to be out there because you know what? Last time we went, those dishes that he had that weren't even a
Yeah.
pizza.
I think it's a little bit of a later start, 2:30. I hope you
Yeah,
can make
wow.
it.
Yeah, no, I want to make that one for sure.
Okay, that's Thursday in Pompano, Peter's Pizzeria, 1166 North Federal. And that's going to be right across the street from where there's going to be a certain function on Saturday, but we can't give that
Yes, it's literally across the way.
details out. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah. But anyway,
It's interesting, man. A Lubie party is always kind of interesting, man.
that's it. All right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Until tomorrow, Happy New Year for those who are celebrating again. And happy
Is it
Tuesday.
Lashana Tova? Is that what we have to say?
Sir.
We'll say in Lashana Tova, we wish everybody peace, love, unity, and prosperity. Instead, we're going to get war, hate, division, and economic ruination.
You couldn't dodge that speech. It was classic.
I can't. I'm sure I'll
In the
be seeing
history of America, I mean, like you got the Gettysburg Address and a lot of different stuff. This one's going to go down as a classic.
I'm gonna have to read the
This was
transcripts of
a
it.
classic. You have to watch this.
Yesterday or today, I don't know which one was worse.
Classic. No one could make this up.
You're right, Defo. I've been tuning out. I used to be very
Just for the
news-
comedy, you
hyper
have to take it
news
seriously.
aware.
Just for the comedy alone, it's
I've
unbelievable.
just been tuning out.
Kimmel's
Tuning out,
return couldn't rival what happened today at the
tuning
UN.
out, turning on, dropping out. That's it. All right. Enjoy every sandwich.